Welcome to the CW 5 o'clock news with your news anchors, Bert Herbert, Jackson Flaxton, and Carrie Brockenberry.
Welcome and good evening. Today, May 6, 1863, marks an important date in this split country's history.
That's right, Carrie. Over the past week, a battle has been raging on between the Union and the Confederacy. The top stories of the week are the daring military maneuvers performed by the Confederate Army, the devastating death of Thomas J. Stonewall Jackson, and the shocking Southern victory.
But before we cover these stories, here's Raul with Sports Report.
Thanks, Bert. This past week, the real players of the war have come to the forefront of the battle, showcasing their military skills. Here's the players from the North. Go.
Major General Joseph Hooker, leading commander, Massachusetts.
Action. I am Major General George Skies, first to fight Delaware.
Major General John Sedgwick, rear attacker, Connecticut.
We really want to watch out for Sedgwick's rear attack. It could be a real game changer. Now let's meet the players from the South.
I am General Robert E. Lee, leading the commander, Virginia.
Lieutenant General Thomas J. Stonewall Jackson, flank Townier, West Virginia.
Major General Lafayette McLaws, first to fight Georgia.
From the South, we really want to watch out for Stonewall's flank attack. It could really spice things up for this war. Both teams seem to have to be evenly matched, but we will see how it all prevails in the end. I'm Raul with a weekly sports report, and now back to Carrie with today's top stories. Thanks, Raul. Now for the weekly headlining stories. So, how about the military strategies, Jackson?
Well, generally speaking, no. Anyways, Robert E. Lee performed some risky yet cunning military maneuvers. Instead of attacking the Yankees in one intensified group, he split his forces in two, and then many of them divvied up from there.
What a risky move. Even though their dangerous move succeeded in the long run, it did cost them one of their most famous generals and valuable officers, Lieutenant General Stonewall Jackson.
Poor Jackson? He was such an important figure in the Southern Army.
Yes, Jackson. Poor Jackson. The interesting part about his death was that his own comrade was the one that shot him in the arm. These sideways Southerners... No. Stonewall Jackson was such a worthy officer in the Confederacy.
Of course he was. His flank attack was such an effective maneuver. He surely will be missed. 'Tis a shame that he won't be able to celebrate the glorious victory that his expert military knowledge helped him so much to achieve. This victory, although it was a shocking one, was a major one for the Confederate Army.
Such an important one indeed. Going into battle, the Confederates were outnumbered at least 2-1, and yet, with some daring tactics, and Stonewall Jackson, they managed to force the Union troops to retreat. This stunning victory didn't come without a hefty price.
That's right, Jackson. On the Union side, 17,304 casualties were reported, but no noteworthy deaths or injuries occurred. However, on the side of the Confederates, 13,460 casualties were reported, including that of the aforementioned death of the notorious Stonewall Jackson.
Seems like this battle was one of the bloodiest we've seen in this ongoing war, Bert. That's all for your weekly top stories. Now let's travel over to Mary Pippin for an overlook of this week's weather.
Thanks, Carrie. This past week has been a warm, dry one. Unlike the past few weeks, Mother Nature has decided to give us a break from all that rain we've endured recently. The roads are getting dry again, and the mud is hardening to a thicker state. All of these elements combined makes the weather almost perfect for marching and having battles. That's all for your weekly weather overview. Thanks, Mary. In other news today, we've gained an exclusive inside view of the battle that's been raging on throughout the week.
That's right, folks. CW News was given an exclusive inside look to the battle. Now let's go to Francis Dancish, our field reporter, for a peek at the vicious battle. Over to you, Francis.
Thanks, Bert. Throughout the past week, a battle has been gruesomely fought all over Spotsylvania County, Virginia. Some of the more concentrated areas of fighting were Orange Turnpike, Orange Plank Road, and the Wilderness. Right now, we're in the Wilderness. As you can see, it's mostly tangled brush, choked thickets, and dense forest. Oh, looks like there's a current battle going on at this very moment. Let's go check it out.
Robert E. Lee, don't hate on me. Just 'cause you're a part of the Confederacy. The forces are low. How about that? Well, I guess it's about time to call an attack.
Yo, hooker! Your attack's been foreseen. You better watch out. I'm about to get mean. My forces are split. We all over the place. You better say bye to your beautiful face.
Was that a compliment? I don't know. Well, at least my partner's head isn't made out of stone.
Jackson may be dumb, but he can't be beat. We're about to make your forces begin to retreat. Boss in the wilderness can't handle the trees, so I guess you can't handle Robert E. Lee.
The woods? Ha! You make me laugh. Meanwhile, your forces are still cut in half. Ha ha ha. Jackson lost his arm. Maybe it's time to crawl back to your farms.
'Tis just a flesh wound.
Even with one less win, he's got the pin. We've got to run and scare. We can see you shiver. Why don't you go home, back over the river?
You may have won this battle, but not without a cost. Jackson, your arm, 13,000 are lost.
The price of victory is never cheap, but your casualties were oh so steep. 18,000 gone. It's quite the loss, but I guess you now know who's the boss.
Now I plan to do an exclusive interview with General Lee, the victor of the Battle of Chancellorsville.
I'm here with General Lee, head of the Confederacy, who has led the South to an amazing victory here at the Battle of Chancellorsville. So Lee, what was your overall opinion in this battle today?
I joined the Confederacy because of states' rights. It had been a great victory for the Confederacy, and it could possibly change the tide of the war.
Sounds like you are very confident in your regime. How do you feel that they have done today?
I'm very proud of how we fought today. We were highly outnumbered, and dividing our forces was a very risky maneuver, but our strength and bravery remained unmoved.
There had been moments where you were unsure of the outcome. At one point in the battle, did you fighting seem heaviest?
The most casualties occurred when Stonewall Jackson had arrived with reinforcements. He took his forces and they surprise attacked a Union camp in order to block their advancements.
Where were you located during this fighting?
Our forces, which had already divided earlier, split into 3 groups later in the battle, while Jackson's force was pushing back into the wilderness fight. That was where the majority of the fighting took place.
And what do you plan to do in the future?
In the future, I plan to win many more battles for the Confederate cause, maybe even Gettysburg eventually.
And now back to our newsroom.
Wow, Francis, I'd say the battle seems to be wrapping
Carrie.
up, don't you?
No, stop.
What? No puns?
Stop.
What?
Stop.
I'm just trying to play
You
them.
stole
Anyways, thanks for tuning in to CW News and for making us your #1 news station.
I don't get paid
Have
enough.
a good night, everybody.